karibu sana kwenye show. This is Rise Today, Woman Crush Wednesday. I am your amazing host, as per usual, Nina Gikunda. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for keeping it KUTV. How has your week been so far? We are about to come to the end of September. This month has been long. This is the same month we sworn in our president, the same month we got a cabinet, the same month we have the kids opened school, the kids have closed, and we are still in September. Imagine. Anyway, we've had about Ebola, we've had nyege. Ishe already, right? Let's all agree, Ishe. Today is the 28th of September. Thank you so much once again for joining us. I hope you've woken up well. The sun is shining. So am I. I hope you are too. Once again, thank you for joining us. You can always catch us on our social media platforms at KUTV Kenya on Instagram, KUTV_Kenya on Twitter, and at KUTV Kenya on Instagram. If you want to talk to me personally, I go by WANGARI Gikunda across all social media platforms. As per usual, we always have so much lined up just for you. Today we get to talk about Campus Me Too. What is Campus Me Too? Campus Me Too is a movement that is aimed at ending sexual harassment in campuses by the staff. I know. The moment I read about it, I was also like, really? It's that bad? Yes, it's that bad. And that's why we will be having a conversation about it today. We have Tom Onyango and Joanne Wanjiro who will be taking us through the entire conversation. They're holding an event on the 11th of October, which is the International Day of the Girl Child. So on this particular day, they will be talking about what I just said, ending sexual harassment for the student by the staff. So if you have experienced such kind of things, if you've experienced harassment by staff, we've heard of what are they called? Sexual grades. They have a name. They have a name, but I'll remember it. If you've heard of it, if you've experienced it or know someone who's experienced it, let me know your experience. Let me know what led you to doing it. Were you forced? Or if you know someone, this is a safe space. Feel free to share. Talk to us. Again, our social media platforms are at KUTV Kenya on Facebook, KUTV_Kenya on Twitter, and at KUTV Kenya on Instagram. And if you're scared, you can always share with us anonymously. After we get into the short break, I will come back with a number where you can text your story and let us know the things you've been through, the things you've seen, or the things you've had. I'm sure you've had a lot of things. So share with us and talk to us. We also have an artist. We have Shazi B, and we also have PK Ann. They will be coming to share with us individually their musical journeys. PK Ann is a gospel artist. She'll be taking us through everything she does in her musical journey, including a musical tutor, and Shazi B will be taking us through her journey in music as she comes up with a new EP. Also, in the previous conversation that I just mentioned, the Campus Me Too, we also get to talk about consent. What is consent, and where and how do we know consent? So stay tuned. We will be coming back after this short break with the traffic updates. Welcome back. We get our traffic updates from Matthew Route on Twitter, MA number 3 ROUTE. So if you have any kind of updates from wherever you are, make sure to tag at Matthew Route on Twitter and tag us as well at KUTV_Kenya on Twitter. The Museum Hill exit towards the expressway, there seems to be quite the traffic there. So if you are on Wayaki Way or whatever road and approaching Museum Hill, there is some amount of traffic there. Just beware. There's what is it called? A disclaimer. Dear cyclists, please wear helmets and a safety vest. At night you are invisible to us. I thought that is mandatory. I thought that was okay. We say common sense is not common to everyone. I thought that was common sense. If you are a cyclist, please make sure you wear a helmet, wear a reflector jacket, and or a safety vest. You are not visible to other motorists at night, so stay safe, be safe. There's something I saw yesterday. I'm not so sure whether it's fake news or it's true news. Please let me know if it's true that there's a matatu that broke someone's leg on Koja yesterday, and it made me wonder how unsafe is it. Okay, there's how when you are alighting a matatu around Koja, they normally make you alight ikiendanga, and it's been an issue. But then yesterday, allegedly, I am yet to confirm that someone alighted and the matatu ran over the person's leg. So if you know that story, please share with us. And just to send caution, please don't alight a vehicle when it's still moving. Please do not alight a vehicle while it's still. Afadhali shukishuko mbele utembe way back, other than you lose a limb. It does not make sense. So for your own safety, do not alight a vehicle that is still in motion. Moving on. I think that's it for today. If you have any kind of information, useful information in regards to any road, absolutely any road, Thika Road, Wayaki Way, Ngong Road, I'll never tire to say it. Please share the information. If you have a story that you think would spark up something that needs to be spoken about or something that needs to be highlighted, please make sure to share with us at KUTV_Kenya on Twitter, at KUTV Kenya on Facebook, and at KUTV Kenya on Instagram. Also make sure to tag at Matthew Root as well. It's a very good platform to share this kind of information. I will be coming back to you shortly with the news updates. So much for joining us up until this far. I mentioned earlier the conversation for today is sexual harassment in campus from the staff, but then this does not only happen in campus. We have these instances or other incidents happening in the workplace, at homes, even in schools, not just campus. We have them in primary school and in secondary school, and makes me wonder, if you have a story, what is your story? How did you deal with it when it happened? What did you do to rescue yourself from that kind of situation? Were you able to fight? Did you talk to someone after that? How did you deal with this situation? Brings me to the question of consent. Where does consent come in? Where does the conversation of consent come in? And I'd like to imagine the people who are higher in power. The people who are higher in power tend not to understand the meaning of consent, maybe because you feel like you're under them. They feel like they can tell you, to do anything. which is still harassment, yes? So if you have a story, please share with us. Please share with us on our social media platforms at KUTV Kenya on Facebook, at KUTV Kenya on Instagram, and at KUTV_Kenya on Twitter. Let us know what is your story. If you have a story, or if you have had someone else's story and you would be willing to share their story, and let us know also how were they able to deal with the situation. Who did they run to? Who did they talk to? And how were they able to deal with the situation afterwards? Their mental health, how are they able to take care of themselves mentally up until the end of their healing process to where they are now. We'll also be looking at a little bit of sex and drugs among freshmen. We all know individuals are still, bado ni mafresha. They got into school this month. This month, a lot has happened this month. We have freshers that got into school this month, and they will encounter a lot of ordeals, especially the trendy in quotes, the trendy things that happen in campus, including, like I said, sex and drugs. So how do we talk to our younger brothers and sisters who just got into campus? Last week we had a similar conversation, but that was on how to deal with the pressures and challenges that come with being a freshman. But then today we get to look at sex and drugs. How do we talk our freshmen out of all these things? How do we help them draw the line? Like, I'm not supposed to do this. How do I tell my friends no? How do I still remain trendy and not do all these things? So stay tuned. We will be having the Campus Movement team with us today to take us through this conversation. But right before we get into it, let's get into our news updates. And into our news updates for today, President William Ruto yesterday chaired his first cabinet meeting at State House, Nairobi, since taking his oath of office 2 weeks ago. The meeting brought together cabinet secretaries of retired President Uhuru Kenyatta's administration in order to inform the president about respective cabinet files.
Hello. Hi. Good morning. Good morning, Waziri. How are you?
2 weeks after his inauguration as the 5th President of the Republic of Kenya, President William Ruto on Tuesday, September 27th, chaired his first cabinet meeting at State House, Nairobi. The meeting, which was attended by serving cabinet secretaries from retired President Uhuru Kenyatta's administration, was aimed at informing the president of the various files of the relevant cabinets. Among those who attended include CS Dr. Fred Matiang'i of Internal Affairs, Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Peter Munya, Joe Musheru of ICT, CS Devolution Eugene Wamalwa, CS Sports Amina Mohammed, Head of Public Service Joseph Kinyua, and Attorney General Paul Kehara. The meeting comes just about a week after the cabinet secretaries were restricted from leaving the country without the president's permission and were further required to explain the reasons for their leave. The cabinet secretaries are expected to serve until the president appoints his own ministers, who will serve with him at least for the next 5 years. For KUTV News, I am Eugene Mayabi.
President William Ruto has unveiled his cabinet comprising of 21 cabinet secretaries who will be in charge of various ministries. Appointed cabinet secretaries are expected to be presented to the parliament for consideration. President Ruto also promised that other cabinet appointments will follow soon. Moving on, in his address yesterday evening, President William Ruto made a candid outline of the duties of his deputy Rigathi Gachagua. Emmanuel Kutosi brings us up to speed with the second-in-command's tasks.
Rigathi Gachagwa's roles. In an address at State House, Nairobi, the president pinpointed Rigathi's duties, which include to deputize the president in the execution of all presidential functions that are allowed by the Constitution and law, chair public committees, oversee implementation of cabinet decisions across ministries and departments, coordinate intergovernmental relations between the government and county governments, including chairing the Intergovernmental Budget and Economic Council, IBEC, be the liaison between the constitutional commissions and independent offices in matters that require intervention by the national government, including budget policy formulation and implementation of their recommendations, to coordinate the planning and supervise the implementation of development partners' funded programs and projects, to oversee public sector reforms and any other functions assigned to him from time to time. The roles, Ruto said, will be gazetted upon the issue of an executive order. In the previous regime, Ruto had run-ins with the former president Uhuru Kenyatta on his duties, particularly after the 2018 handshake. Ruto seemingly learning from the past to ensure a similar occurrence bears no root in his government.
My good deputy, Rigathi Gachagua, who I have a lot of regard for standing with me and working extra hours and being part of my support team. I promised my deputy is going to be a very busy person.
On to the next story. President William Ruto has announced that he had received and subsequently accepted the resignation of Director of Criminal Investigations boss George Kinoti. The Inspector General of Police Hilary Mutyambai has also proceeded on terminal leave.
President William Ruto has announced that the Director of Criminal Investigations, George Kinoti, has called it quits. During his tenure, the DCI made a number of arrests that Ruto's camp deemed targeted, a move believed to have put Kinoti at loggerheads with the current president. The president further revealed that he had accepted Inspector General of Police Hilary Mutyambai's request for terminal leave. President William Ruto has nominated former Nairobi County boss Japheth Koome, who is currently the commandant of the National Police Service College in Kiganjo, to the position of Inspector General of Police. Inspector General of Police Hilary Mutyambai has retired, citing health reasons. The announcement was made by President William Ruto today in the afternoon as he unveiled his new cabinet at State House, Nairobi. On 26th of August 2022, Mutyambai proceeded on leave for medical reasons and appointed Noor Gabo to serve in the position he had served since 2019.
Police officers are investigating the cause of death of lawyer Paul Gisheru. Gisheru was found dead in his current residence on Monday night. Information about his demise was relayed by his family members and the police, who took his body to Lee Funeral Home awaiting postmortem.
Lawyer Paul Gisheru's death comes 2 months after he surrendered to International Criminal Court in Netherlands. Gisheru was a person of interest in the International Criminal Court, where he was representing President William Ruto against the charges he was facing of taking part in the killings that followed the 2007 post-election violence. Gisheru was accused alongside Philip Bett of bribing and intimidating witnesses not to testify on the crimes against humanity that President William Ruto and former radio presenter Joshua Arap Sang faced. This prompted the International Criminal Court to issue a warrant of arrest against Gisheru and Bett in the year 2015. Later on, he obtained a court order stopping his arrest till when he surrendered to the International Criminal Court in the year 2020. In June this year, both the prosecution and the defense teams made their final submissions, leaving the matter in the hands of trial chamber of the International Criminal Court, which was yet to deliver a verdict until Gisheru's death. In 2016, the court ruled out the case facing dismissing President William Ruto due to lack of sufficient evidence. On the other hand, the Law Society of Kenya, where Gisheru was a member, has issued a press statement condoling with the family, colleagues and friends of the Paul Gisheru, urging the police to conduct diverse investigations for justice to prevail.
As we prepare for the next story, I'd like you to send us your feedback in regards to the conversation for today. Like I said earlier, we get to talk about sexual harassment in the workplace, sexual harassment by the staff in schools. We get to look at the various things you should do to take care of yourself, the people you should talk to, and how you should deal with the situations. We have the campus movement, Campus Me Too, here with us, preparing to take us through this conversation. But right before we get into it, we continue with our news updates. The Ministry of Health has placed 20 counties on high alert for Ebola virus infection following the rising of reported cases in neighboring country Uganda. Acting Health Director General Dr. Patrick Amoth stated on Tuesday at a press briefing that the risk of the Ebola virus spreading to Kenya is as a result of the massive human traffic between Kenya and Uganda via the Busia and Malaba ground crossing points.
Since the outbreak of Ebola virus on Kenya's neighboring Uganda, Kenya has been on the lookout to keep the virus at bay. On Tuesday, September 27th, the Ministry of Health in Kenya placed 20 counties on high alert for Ebola virus infection as cases in Kenya's western neighbor Uganda rise. Acting Health Director General Dr. Patrick Amoth stated that the counties of Busia, Nakuru, Kiambu, Nairobi, Kajiado, Machakos, Makueni, Taita Taveta, Mombasa, Kwale and Kericho are at high risk of infection. The ministry points Nairobi and Mombasa counties as high-risk entry points for the Ebola virus as they host Jomo Kenyatta and Moi International airports. Uganda confirmed its first infection on September 11th following the death of a 24-year-old male living in Gabano village, Mubenda district. Uganda Virus Research Institute found a rare Ebola virus strain of Ebola Sudan from the man's blood specimen. In the last 24 hours, the Ministry of Health of Uganda has updated of a total of 36 cumulative cases, where 18 have been confirmed positive for the virus and 18 probable cases confirmed, at 18 are based on probability as the death toll from the virus shoots to 23. The ministry has asked Kenyans to look out for the symptoms of the disease, such as bleeding from body openings, a running stomach, high fever, a cough characterized by chest pains, and skin rash. Kenya has not yet reported any case of Ebola. Jeff Mwangi, KUTV.
That goes to say that be careful with how you mingle with people, how the people you allow to body. You know how Ebola is spread. Ebola is spread via bodily fluids, mucus, saliva, sweat, and every other fluid you can imagine. So if you can, please be careful with whomever it is you are sharing your air with. Moving forward, Kenya joined the rest of the world in commemorating the World Tourism Day, which is usually celebrated every 27th of September annually. The theme for this year is Rethinking Tourism, which aims at reconstructing tourism for development, including through education and jobs, and tourism's impact on the planet and opportunities to grow more sustainably. The nation witnessed celebrations today as the world commemorated the World Tourism Day. It is a day commemorated annually on the 27th of September to sensitize the world on the importance of tourism. Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja flagged off the World Tourism Day event at City Hall, which saw performances by dancers dressed in different traditional attires with beautiful ornaments. Narok conservatives led by Professor Metame Oledapash also joined the World Tourism Day celebrations. They urged the government to take account on the declining tourism industry, particularly in the Mara. Professor Metame continued by saying that the Ministry of Tourism needs to do a good job of marketing on Kenya's tourism to ensure that its value does not decline.
Leo ikiwa ni siku ya kitaifa ya utalii, tunajivunia sana tukiwa Wakenya kwamba kwa miaka karibu sasa 40 Kenya imeweza kushikilia nafasi nzuri zaidi katika mambo ya utalii.
He also asked the Ministry of Tourism not to concentrate on PR alone, but also on improving the product. Metamay notes that if the Kenyan tourism industry is not taken care of, the wildebeest migration could overrun the Masai Mara as a popular tourist site.
Mwaka huu it was the shortest, ili last mwezi moja peke yake. Tulikuwa tunapata hata miezi 4, miezi 5. Siku hizi hiyo wildebeest inakuja, hao wildebeest wanakuja wanakuwa hapo Masai Mara kwa muda mfupi sana kama mwezi moja. Na utalii ina respond kwa hiyo, kwa kuwa pia mara kwa muda mfupi sana. So kama tulikuwa na usafiri ama watalii wanakuja kwa miezi 4, kwa sababu migration iko mara kwa miezi 4. Sasa unaweza kuta wanakuja kwa miezi 2 ama mwezi moja. Hiyo ni revenue inapotea.
Tourism is an important sector to the Kenyan economy as it diversifies the economy and boosts other sectors such as transport, food and beverages, entertainment and textiles. For KUTV, I am Teresia Maluki.
We have come to the end of our news updates for today, but for subsequent bulletins, keep it KUTV in through the day. We have endless updates for you in through the day. Earlier when I talked about Campus Me Too, a campus movement that is there to end sexual harassment by the staff to the campus students. And I threw it to you and I asked you, have you had this kind of encounter? Have you had an incident of harassment by staff, regardless of whether you're in school, in the workplace, at home, as a student in high school, in primary school? Have you had such kind of encounters? And if you have, how did you deal with the situation? Whom did you run to for help? How did you rescue yourself from that kind of situation? And I also asked you, at what point do we identify consent? At what point do we talk about matters consent? You can talk to us on our social media platform at KUTV Kenya on Facebook, at KUTV Kenya on Instagram, and at KUTV_Kenya on Twitter. I'd like to read some feedback. We have Profound Matoi. It is said common sense is not common anywhere to Tusonge facts. Common sense is not common to everyone. We'll be coming back to you with the Campus Me Too team after this short break.
Kwanza tuende lunch. Chapo.
Rasha piga shada kuna giza. Kinaitu jinaitu weke story. Kata maji pia shada liko nasio nikosa mtupo si stress. Kama rende kisha basi nipe.
Big up, Zade, Ukiwa, Adriva, big up, Sis, big up, Shows, Mama, big up, Oya, Wase wote, okay, my principal, big up.
Yeah. type of cancer that affects the prostate gland. It is highly treatable if detected early.
As you grow old, the risk of having prostate cancer become high. Men above 65 years and above, you find that 2/3 of patients with prostate cancer, their age is 65 and above.
Fine dining is a unique and sophisticated experience that you're not going to find in normal dining restaurants right here in our country. In this new season, we are going to be bringing you this amazing experience right in your dining tables and even in your kitchen. I'm your chef and host, John International 254, and this is your favorite show, our Delicacy Show.
Sasa ni bora zaidi, mwanzo mpya, mambo mapya. Msimu mwingine wa Boresha Kilimo unakuletea teknolojia ibuka, kilimo mseto, uongezaji thamani. Teknolojia dijitali ya mauzo inawezesha ufikiaji wa masoko. Soko moko yako, mahangaiko yako ya kufikia masoko yamefika kikomo, manake tunao Mkulima Young.
What Mkulima Young does is it connects farmers with the market.
Hii ni Boresha Kilimo kwa ushirikiano na Mkulima Young. Atafutaye hachoki na kichoka kesha pata. Kwa makala maalum ya kilimo, ungana nasi kila Jumamosi saa 6:30 kwenye kipindi ukipendacho Boresha Kilimo.
I'm your hostess, Becky.
And my name is DJ Tero.
We start you off with a word of prayer and get you started with a live transformational worship experience. Have our minds renewed by the word of God on the word segment.
And not forgetting new music za hii wiki, yani ndakuwa bado nawapatia pale wasanii wamekuwa kiwakali. So make sure manzo umetune in because zitakuwa zina flow pia pale mixes kwa wingi, yani zitakuwa zina come through, and pia performance yani from our gospel artist hapa on Gospel Art
from 7 to
10 a.m. only on KUTV.
welcome back. My name is on a book. My name is on a book. This should be my new catchphrase. My name is Nina Gikunda and Nina Power. Welcome back once again. I said earlier we have the campus movement here with us. They're here to take us through a conversation on dealing with sexual harassment, rather dealing and ending sexual harassment by the staff in campus, two campus students. I have two amazing individuals with me here in studio. They have such amazing merchandise. Can you see this? But let me stop preempting. They'll take us through, this kind of merchandise. I just got excited to say my name here. We have Tom Onyango and Joanne Wanjiro here with us in studio. And here they are. Karibuni sana. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
You're fine?
Yeah.
Joanne, tell us, who is Joanne Wanjiro?
Okay, Joanne was unable to come. Vanessa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Vanessa is basically a campus student from Kenyatta University.
Yes.
Passionate about mental health issues, and that is what I'm pursuing in school. BS Psychology, and I'm also passionate about gender-related issues. Yeah.
We also have Mr. Tom.
Yes.
How are you doing this
I'm doing fine.
Please introduce yourself. Who is Tom Onyango?
Tom Onyango is a student at Kenyatta University. My final year, doing Bachelor of Arts in Gender Development. I'm passionate on gender issues, especially the boy child, and also youth. Many times I've seen that youth are left out in the political arena. So passionate about climate action because that is what will affect the human nature within our planet today. Yep.
Maybe take us through what is Campus Me Too? What does that mean?
Campus Me Too is a student-led Pan-African movement aimed to end sexual harassment from staff on campus. It was started back in 2019. Throughout the world, we've been hearing a lot of cases concerning sexual harassment, but there was no platform whereby students could approach, discuss these issues, and solve them out. So through that, with the help of ActionAid, there's a survey that was done in 2019 with the universities in Nairobi. We reached up to 1,015 students, and out of that, we got up to 50% of women are always sexually harassed by staff, and up to 25% of the male students are always harassed. So through that, we came up with a lot of things. We sit down, we discuss on how we're going to solve this out. And we come up with a 5 chart of demands on what we want to help us end sexual harassment.
Wow. Vanessa, maybe take us through what inspired this movement. What exactly inspired this movement?
The movement was inspired by one of us. She was the face of the campaign, Jael. Jael was sexually harassed in her first year while she was in Moi University, and that forced her to change the university she's in because she was affected. The effects, some of the effects of sexual harassment, seeing the perpetrator around, depression and other things came around. And now when she came, she joined hands together with other people. They went to ActionAid, and that is how the movement started, because she wanted to help other students to not go through what she had gone through. Yeah.
I'm curious, Tom, is that what inspired the name Me Too? Where did the name come from? Curious, where did the name come from?
The name Me Too is something common. Actually, we borrowed Campus Me Too from Uganda. Yeah, exactly. So initially it started in Nigeria, whereby even Nigerian university students are affected by this. So they started a Me Too movement, and with us we borrowed it from Uganda because we realized that it's not only Jael was affected by that. So by the time we started the conversation, we realized that me coming on board and like
Me Too.
Me Too, Me Too. So that's how Me Too came about.
Okay. Why specifically sexual harassment? Is it just sexual harassment, or you talk about every kind of harassment?
Campus Me Too is a movement, and for a movement, they always have one agenda that they focus on. When it comes to the issues of sexual harassment, it's not only students who are sexually harassed.
Yes.
We also have maybe staffs who are sexually harassed by students. But because a movement needs to have one agenda, for us, our agenda was to end sexual harassment from staff to the students. If maybe somebody else feels like to start a movement to protect the staff or protect any other person, they can do that. But for us, we chose that one
just
agenda.
Campus students.
Yeah.
Oh,
and it's on campus. So if you're sexually harassed outside campus, that is not we cannot assist you on that. We can only assist you
if you are a campus student. Interesting. Maybe Tom, take us through what is consent. What is consent?
Consent. Consent is a little bit wide topic, and in context to this, we really don't touch a lot of much concerning consent. But when you look at the meaning of sexual harassment, it's any unwanted sexual conduct, without the consent of the other person. Things concerning like hugging, kissing, non-verbal code calling, a lot of text. No, this thing require content, because I don't believe like if each and every time somebody come to hug without your permission, that person is really harassing you. So that's why now consent comes in, because you really need to seek approval for the other person if you want to do anything, especially when it's sexual in nature. Because now sex is what define human beings, you being a man, you being a woman. So something that we need to tackle it in a really good manner. Yes.
So Vanessa, I'm curious. So how does Campus Me Too operate?
Campus Me Too operates through the students, because it's a student-led movement. Yes, we have people who are supporting us, organizations supporting us like the UN Women and Action Aid, but it's the students who are the pioneer, like they're the ones guiding them. For them, they're just supporting us, but the students are the one like doing all the activities. We have opened chapters now. We work within the different campuses. We have opened chapters now in around 6 institutions. That is UON, Kenyatta University, Moi University, Maseno University, ZTech, and Mawego Institute.
Tom, how many types of sexual harassment are there?
We have 3 forms of sexual harassment. We have verbal, we have non-verbal, and physical. So under the 3 forms, we have now the types. Also under verbal, we have things like when somebody is telling you, let's say, you're beautiful, body shaming, that forms under verbal. When it comes about physical, hugging,
you're
kissing,
beautiful is sexual harassment.
It depends in a way that is bringing.
Okay.
No, that's where the challenge comes, because maybe to you it's not, but to the other person it is.
Okay.
So we need to be avoiding this. You just can't come and meet any lady despite the fact they're beautiful and tell them no, you're beautiful. So it's not something that is allowed.
So where do we draw the line between a compliment and harassment?
A compliment. It depends on how the compliment is, and if it's really possible, that's where we go back to consent.
It's how it's being relayed that matters.
And it goes back to consent, because there's some people from the beginning they don't want it. So maybe you can say for the first time, if the compliment comes and the student tells you it's a no, then that's why you stop from it. Don't continue. Many cases we have seen when this staff continue doing the same thing without even you wanting, because the challenge and what even inspired us most to look at sexual harassment from staff to the student is the issue concerning power dynamics. Remember, these are people who are staff, and the staff is who govern us as the student. So it's like you are fighting with somebody who's in power. So that's what is inspired us. So let us come together, because this power in position of trust, and they're misusing that position to mitigate their agendas on us as students. And that is not the main thing that brought us to school. We came here to gain knowledge, but is really that what we're gaining?
No. Vanessa, maybe you can continue. He's told us about verbal harassment. Maybe the other 2 types?
We also have the non-verbal. That is somebody maybe gazing at you, winking at you, and even sometimes being touchy with you, and it's making you feel uncomfortable. That person is sexually harassing you. And the other one is the physical. Now the physical is the one that it can also go to the extent of even somebody raping you, or doing kisses, forcefully kissing you, or hugging
and touching inappropriately. Tom, what are the effects of sexual harassment? Like earlier she said about the lady who founded now the Campus Me Too, and she was affected with her study. So what are some of the effects of sexual harassment?
When you talk about the effect, you can start with the physical effects. So in such manner, it can lead to sex, because when that person really continues, and as a student, you don't have that right to tell this lecturer no. Maybe it can give you a retake for the rest of your life. So at some point, it will lead to sex, and sex, you have unwanted pregnancy, you can contract sexually transmitted infections. It can even go up to rape, can be raped. And these things are really not good. It really come and affect the mental the student, and when you're mentally affected, then you can't focus on your studies. So which means that your academic life will be ruined. You'll really be failing a lot in the classes, and if that one affects you, you'll be relating to the student, because at some point the student will see which the lecturer's favorite, because how the lecturer is always behaving around you. They make that an assumption, and now you become the enemy of the whole student. So basically it makes your social life and interaction very difficult.
Vanessa, so how do we deal with some of these effects? How do we deal with these incidents?
We came up with 5 demands as Campus Me Too, and we took them to the Ministry of Education, and they passed that. I don't know if you can call it a bill or a bill.
What bill is it? It's the 5 demands. You can also check it out. It's in our book. Our 5 demands that we wanted each.
Please read them. Please feel free to read them.
The five demands, we want each and every higher learning institution in Kenya to abide in them. That is number 1. They should educate first years on the issues regarding sexual harassment and how to protect themselves and all that, because we believe that most first years are the ones who are targeted by the young and naive. And also the staff, that is demand number 2, the staff should be trained in regards to the same, because some of them might be sexually harassing people and they don't know. You can be doing something and you don't know. For example, you find somebody, you tell them, I don't like hugging people, and then they're like, I'm a hugger. But they don't know that they are sexually harassing you because they're doing it out of you not giving them consent. They are forcefully demanding that hug from you. And another one, you should ensure that each and every institution appoints a gender officer, so that in case we have sexually harassment issues or cases in the institutions, students can know where to go and report. And thankfully, I think for Kenyatta University, we have a place where people can go and report those issues. Unfortunately, most people do not know about that. So for us as Campus Me Too Kenyatta University, we try to also make awareness about the existence of the place where they can go report that. And then number 5, establish an investigative system in case these cases happen. We have to investigate. Is it really true this thing happened? Do you have evidence and all that?
I am curious, how do you have evidence of sexual harassment?
You can record.
How?
Oh, just to tackle that.
Because I'm curious. I am imagining myself in a room. I have gone to see my lecturer.
Okay.
And then my phone is in my handbag. So let us assume. I'll do it practically with my handbag. So this lecturer starts harassing me. So at what point will I remove my phone and start recording? And I am in panic. I am scared. How do I get evidence?
Well, just talk a little bit about that. On the demands, I think she didn't tackle the last one. The first 4 demands need to be incorporated in a gender policy that has to be then being reviewed after every 2 years. Thankfully, Kenyatta University has got a gender policy and sexual harassment policy. So on the issue about how can we get this evidence, as a Campus Me Too, we always have channels whereby we have something called a student toolkit. So this student toolkit is the one which used to help students on ways on how to come with that. And also it's in our book. So one way we are talking about to prevent. So remember, it's a social issue. Social issue, getting evidence is really challenging. So prevent. We need to avoid visiting lecturers alone during evening hours. If you suspect a lecturer has got an intention that can lead to sexual harassment, then you need to come with a friend. Now at this point, when you come with a friend can act as a witness because he or she show that. Another one is avoid discussing your personal life with your lecturer. So you're a student, you're a first year, you're telling the lecturer, you're coming from a really humble background, blah blah blah. Then the lecturer will come and take advantage of that. You need to come, we need to be harassing you in the name that I'm going to give you money to pay your school fees, I'm going to give you money for pocket money, I'm going to give you A's in your exams. But that one came because you discuss your personal life. So these are things that we need to avoid as student. Another one is to collect evidence safely. So
right before we get to collect evidence safely, you've said something about, I'm going to give you A's because of something and something. We have sexually transmitted grades, yes?
Exactly.
At what point how do you know, as in, how do you go about that situation? Is it because the student was harassed, or sometimes the student takes themselves to the lecturer, or how?
At what point do
there's a situation where some students will take themselves to the lecturers. We know that there are those who are willingly in those relationships.
But that is not harassment. Yes.
Yeah, that is not harassment. But there are those who are unwillingly find themselves in that situation. Maybe you are, for example, a class rep. And maybe now you have to communicate constantly with this lecturer. He's calling you through the office so that you can take maybe some notes for your fellow students or anything. And then in that scenario, when you're going to his office or her office, this lecturer does something to you. Yeah.
Okay.
And also, just to talk about that, we're focusing from staff to students. So when a student takes themselves there, we can't really handle that. And it always goes to the point at some point you don't get an A, you get an E. That's a retake.
Yeah.
There's a case we had from one university. There was a lecturer who was obsessed with a student. I don't know if he feels really happy when the student is in the class. So he always gives the student a retake.
A retake. So that he can
until the lecturer had to retire is when that lady finished her school.
No.
So only one.
Yeah.
And even you have that some cases in Kenyatta University, a student whereby it was the lecturer denied giving her marks because she denied to engage in sexual activity with the lecturer. Up to now she hasn't graduated.
So how do you deal with such situations? What do you do?
We have some numbers that you can call, or we can work in partnership with Action Aid so that they can come assist because they are our sponsors.
So you keep repeating because you're happy to see me in class.
So that's what happens, and that's the reason why we come together as students. That's the reason why we have this charter of demands, because after that we had a petition whereby we signed up to 50,000 signatures, took them to the parliament, and these things need to be incorporated and we need to see them in action. Through that, then we know that we can sort out these issues. That's why there's an investigative committee whereby me as a student, I can approach and tell them that with me I did my exams, but I don't have my marks. So can you really follow it? Now it will be different when a different lecturer, staff making follow-up on that. You are sure. But when you as a student want to make that follow-up alone to the same lecturer who are a student, it's not really possible. That's why we need to have the investigative committee that works on that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you were reading to us something. So we just concluded reading how to prevent yourself. Yes. So collecting evidence. I really want to read this. Collecting evidence safely.
Exactly. So one, never put yourself or someone in danger when collecting evidence of sexual harassment. So at some point, when you want to collect that evidence, you want to make recording, especially when you are making a phone call. So at the time you receive a phone call from the lecturer and you want to press record, the other one at the end of the line will hear that. So you're putting yourself in danger.
Yeah.
So when you come with your friend and you have put the recording on, but maybe you never placed it very well, the lecturer will be aware, putting more yourself into danger. And that one, use your phone to discreetly record conversations such as text messages, voicemail, videos, and emails. So in case you have been sent some SMS, just take a screenshot, keep them. Videos, screenshot, really keep them. So these are the evidence that we're going to use. And also, likely we need to keep the record of meetings with the perpetrators. So we need to note down, this day we had a meeting with this lecturer, different various days. So there's a time, the lecturer that was really trapped by the student, he has been having the behavior of sexually harassing a girl. So this time they team up as a student, they were meeting at a certain hotel. So this lady organized with the friends and with the friends to really have some fun video. So they come early on the place of meeting. They strategically place themselves there, start recording videos and even recording sound. So at the end of the day, we had evidence and this lecturer action was taken. But even the problem we have, according to the Sexual Harassment Act of 2007, the only thing that is there, the penalty is really small, like 1 year imprisonment and 100,000 cash. So which lecturer can't pay that money? These are things that we need to take the conversation further and even have the punishment to be more severe so that they can really feel the effect. But if it's 100,000, each and everyone can do that because they are aware that they're going to afford that. So those are things that even we are really aiming at ensure that act has to be changed, especially on the punishment that's being given to these perpetrators.
Right before we continue, so if I understand correctly, let's assume I am a freshman. So based on the conversation up until where we've reached, I need to understand that as a freshman, at the back of my mind, anytime or for the first time, I am called into the office by a lecturer, I know that I need to put my phone on record and I don't need to go alone.
Yeah.
For the first time.
Yeah, to be safe. And
To
also,
be safe.
you can also...
Since we don't know the motive of
Yeah.
that particular lecture.
Exactly.
Yeah. And also you can avoid like having a lot of interactions with your lecturers, because we have the corporate emails. If he or she wants to communicate to you, why don't they use the corporate email? And I when I look at on my phone, if I want to look for any lecturer or any student in my corporate email, even if I don't have their corporate email, I can search through my contacts. If I have their two names and search the two names, I'll be able to access this person's corporate email. So we are trying to also discourage people making normal phone calls, messages, and constant physical contact to the lecturers if they are unnecessary. If it's for official business, and which is also, I think, ethical, let's use the corporate email for communication for the purposes of the school.
So we've done events and we've done collected evidence safely. So we get into now reports.
On the report, actually, if you experience sexual harassment, speak out quickly to your trusted friends and family. So that's why we have this moment where a student can really find a good space where they can really talk about this. So that's why now we have the movement, let us really take the conversation outside. Apart from that, know your university sexual harassment policy and report to the institution immediately. Apparently, we have few institutions with this policy. It's only Kenyatta University that had. Currently, through Campus Me Too, University of Nairobi has a sexual harassment policy, and same as to Maseno University, they've got a gender policy. So, and on the demands, the first demand we had is to ensure that when freshmen come to university, they need to be trained and they need to watch an educational resource on sexual harassment so that they can know on how to report these issues. So these are things that we're really demanding for. Apparently Kenyatta University hasn't started that despite the fact that they have the policy. But this year during orientation, it was only 15 minutes given to the Department of Gender. That's really small, whereby the student can report that. And lastly, we have to...
Before you get into that, is there a way that Campus Me Too can, a little get into other campuses and now maybe push them to have these policies?
Yeah, actually we are really doing that, and that's why UN is currently having a policy, Maseno is having a policy. So we onboarded ZTech and KCA, we have also Corporate University of Kenya. Apart from that, we have Maseno Training Institute. So with this, when we continue having contact communication with the administration, we need to tell them the reason why it's really important. Also, this thing came also from the Ministry of Education. They need to do that. So we are also ready to help them come up with this gender policy, because we will do it freely of charge, because this is what we want our students to have. Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's one more.
So the last one is gather your friends. Power comes in numbers. Demonstrations, strike, boycott, distribute anonymous letters, and the use of social media.
Especially the use of social media.
Yeah. That's what we're doing. Actually, we have social media accounts from Facebook, Campus Me Too. We have Instagram, Campus Me Too. We also have a website that has got all this information, www.campusmetoo.com, and under that we have a student toolkit. So what I just taken us through was a student toolkit. That's really to help the student. We have a lecturer's toolkit up to the same, and also we have the parents' toolkit. So these are things that need to help, because these are the three main stakeholders that need to help us in solving this social issue.
Speaking of a student toolkit, allow me to read some feedback. Have Mtoto Mariam, it's by God's grace that Runda is watching. What a great conversation. Nimependa hizo demands. From where can the students get a student toolkit? And answer here your evidence. I think tumejibu hiyo ya evidence, but then there's from where can the students get a student toolkit?
So they just need to visit our website, www.campusmetoo.com. We have got all the resources that we're using. Everything that's in this notebook is inside there, and we even have more. We even have a video that can really explain to somebody what is sexual harassment, and they can know that.
And the accessibility is free.
It's free. It's free. Just
as long as you have data.
It is a public website actually. Just join and you will take it and every information that you want. And apart from that, in various institutions where we advocate for students to join the different chapters, let them join and let them take the conversation further. Yep.
And also to add on that, any student from any higher learning institutions who don't have Campus Me Too, they can reach out through our social media platforms and request us to go and launch it, because we can only go to an institution if the students are interested to join. Yeah.
I feel like this be an active bystander has really caught my eye. Take us through this. What is be an active bystander?
Being an active bystander, it's like being considerate or taking care of your friend. For example, the effects of sexual harassment, one of them is missing class, depression, sometimes
stigmatization and all that. If you notice or if you feel like your friend is not okay, you can reach out and know like what are they going through, and if at all the issue is they have been sexually harassed, by being an active bystander you can stand with that person and aid them to get the assistance that they need. That is reporting the issue, making sure the perpetrator pays for what they have done and all that, helping them get help, therapy, because maybe they are psychologically affected. Yeah.
Tell me a bit, yes.
And also take you through being an active bystander. We have some acronym called SAFE. So the first one, S, is to see the situation as a problem. Be on the lookout for things that do not feel right and recognize when somebody needs help. So as that when I become an active bystander, I can see my friend hasn't been coming to class for a very long time. What could be the problem? So after seeing that, I need to assess the situation, and from that I'll be able to realize that this student needs help.
Not okay.
So we have assess the situation. Step in, join into the conversation. If someone look uncomfortable, think of an excuse for you both to leave, just in case you guys are in that office and you have assessed and like see this conversation is not taking us somewhere, it's not educational. They need to find out how to leave that office, and that's what this moment exactly. And we have feel responsible to act. So trust your instinct to know when something is not right and seek support from the authority of the university. So this is night calls as a student to come together, because at the end of the day, maybe I can say I'm not being sexually harassed, let me leave out. But you never know. At the end of the day, I'll become a parent and my child will come and pass through the same institution and my siblings. So we need to start now and we need to act responsibly. And that's not what we're doing as Campus Me Too students. And lastly, educate yourselves on what to do. Know it is never the survivor's fault, and know how you can report the incident of the situation.
Yeah, no, it is never the survivor's fault. I'm sure you've had situations whereby a student is sexually harassed and they will always be asked,
exactly.
You didn't trigger? You're not the one who started the conversation. How do you deal with such situations?
So on that issues, we can't blame the survivor. I think the university has allowed the student.
We can't blame the survivor, but people do blame the survivor.
So according to that, if the institution feels that the student are not wearing in a manner that they want to, I think they can come up with a policy that directs us how we dress, same as to Strathmore.
Yeah.
So and still, even in such institutions, you still have the sexual harassment despite the fact that they're dressing. So I think dressing is not a call for harassment, and that's something that we need to know, and we need to draw the line. When I dress in this manner, it doesn't mean that you want to harass me. After all, I'm focusing on my business as the lecturer. You come and teach. If the student doesn't feel okay, then maybe let the student leave my class. At some point, we see some our lecturers and say, when a student doesn't dress in the manner that they want to, they tell them to leave. It's better to tell the student to leave than not to harass the student. Yeah.
Vanessa, yes.
We can also break the stereotype. It starts with us. Today I can victimize a survivor. Tomorrow I don't know where I'll find myself. I don't know the position I'll find myself in. So let's try to delete the stereotypes that have been created over the years, that dress code, I don't know, you're the one who took yourself there, and all those issues. Let's try to see it in a way of this person was barely innocent. This person maybe was forced because they were helpless. They didn't have somebody to help them. Because sometimes even the way we have said about bystander, I can communicate to my friend and nimwambie, this and this is happening to me. Na like, hey, you see, and they start gossiping about judging and all that. So it's all about us deleting the stereotypes and trying to educate ourselves on how we can work on these issues. Yeah.
Tom, maybe do you have therapists around campus Meet in the movement? Do you have therapists that offer help and mental health uplifting?
Exactly. Actually, as a movement, we have an organization that supports us. We have one getting free counseling. You call 119 from Kenya Red Cross Society. Call 1195 healthcare assistant, and also SMS help to 21094 from Action Aid. So with these stakeholders being on board, they really help us. And also within our movement, we got people from different disciplines. Vanessa is doing psychology. She's aware of that. And so when the person comes on board, Vanessa will really come and help out. So we train students on how to really approach the survivors when they come on board. So when it comes to counseling, that's something that we offer free of charge.
Vanessa, do you have success stories of victims who are able to bounce back into their studies?
Yeah.
Maybe share with us apart from Jael.
Apart from Jael, we also have a student who is one of us. She was sexually harassed, and even though she didn't get the assistance, because unfortunately the student was blind. And the time when she went to report the case, they're telling her to describe the person who sexually harassed her.
What?
You see? So at the end of the day, what happens? Yes, she got therapy, she was assisted, and she was able to bounce back. She's now doing her master's here in Kenyatta University. We have a student who was sexually harassed in UON by a security, somebody from the head of security, I think. And by them working together, they were able to gather the evidence and make her get the assistance she needed.
Can we also say the use of CCTV in every particular corner of our school helps?
Yeah. Not only the school, even the offices. Because if maybe I say I had gone to this office at this time and I had not recorded, at least we can go back and go to wherever the CCTV person,
the hallway,
and gather that information, and it will be like, it's true, this person was here at this time, so you cannot deny, you cannot defend yourself. And even the staffs, what they can do is they should not be afraid to stand with us, because, and it's so unfortunate, some of these colleagues of these perpetrators know this thing, but wanaongelelea tu chini ya maji, but they won't help you. But they know this thing is happening. They know the perpetrator.
Maybe they are mostly comrades. They are comrades. Maybe they are comrades of their colleagues.
Maybe we can say that. But some of them, maybe they are scared because of ranks too, or something like that. I don't know. So we really need to work together, because you might not be a student, but you have a child, you have a brother, you have a niece, you have a nephew. So if this person is affected, you are also directly or indirectly affected by that situation.
Wow. As we wind up, Tom, maybe talk to our freshmen just today. We have so many freshers at the moment.
I think what I can say to the freshmen is that let them join the conversation. For those who are in Kenyatta University, we have got a chapter. Then come to us, let them reach out to us through our social media pages. You can just SMS and say, I'm coming from this institution. Then we'll reach out through you throughout the various chapter leaders that we have. And also the same, I'm insisting any person who is watching us today kindly visit our website www.campusme2.com. We've got each and every resource that's really helpful for us to understand. And they say, when you don't have education, when you're not knowledgeable, then there's nothing that will really never come out. And that's what we've been even hearing from our survivors. They say, I never knew that this thing exists. So these are call to action. Let them come, let them visit us, let them visit our social media pages, let them visit our website, get the relevant knowledge that they want, and we really invite them to come and work together, because without the numbers, then we can go nowhere actually.
Sure. Vanessa?
What I can say is Campus Me Too, not only is it a movement, it's also a safe space. It's a place where you can also grow, such that for me personally, I didn't know in detail what sexual harassment really is until when I joined Campus Me Too, and hapo ndio nikakuwa like, oh my god. So each and every day I'm always sexually harassed when I go to board a matatu. Oh my god. So when I do this, I'll be sexually harassing somebody. So it makes me be knowledgeable and know how to handle different people in my space and know how to react when somebody does something to me, because sometimes you might feel uncomfortable, kumbe you're being sexually harassed. And also the issue of seeking help and getting assistance when you come to Campus Me Too. Like the stories that we have for the survivors, you will find that you will be able to feel like you're not alone, because going through these issues alone, they bring to you post-traumatic stress disorders, they bring depression, suicidal thoughts, and because you feel maybe you are alone. And it's so unfortunate, some of our closest people will not understand us. So when you come to Campus Me Too, we understand and we will be able to help you rise again.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Vanessa. And Tom, I've fallen in love with your merchandise. I've said that so many times. So if there's someone who'd be interested in maybe getting your merchandise, where can they get it?
For our merchandise, if you come to our meetings, if you take part in our activities, that is where you will get, because it is a movement, so we just don't give it to each and every person, because some of them can misuse our merchandise and use it for the wrong purpose and destroy our image. We are not here to dirtify or throw mud at someone. We're just trying to solve a solution that is to solve a problem that is affecting our society. So we only give it to people who are intentional to be part of us. Yeah, so if they go to those activities, they come to our events, they'll be able to get the merchandise.
And how do we know the events? You post them on your social media?
We post on our social media platforms. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for sharing with us your knowledge. We really, really appreciate. You have an event on the 11th of October.
Yeah, we have an event on the 11th of October. That is International Day of the Girl Child.
Yes.
And we will be educating people on the issue of sexual harassment and focus more on the issue of consent, because most of the time, even in relationships, you will find that mtu atakuwa tu ile yenye tumezwa, because we are, but I've not given you that consent, maybe I'm not in the mood. And pia watu wengine hawajui like what consent really is.
And also most people don't know that you can be raped while you're in a relationship. Most people don't know that. It's a thing.
So we'll be talking about consent and emphasizing more on sexual harassment, because the freshmen are in school and we believe most of them will come on board and will have gotten the opportunity to teach them on that.
Tom, where can we find your offices physically here at KU?
Apparently we don't have an office, but through the social media, that's where you reach out to us, and we always have a meetup places, because we are like an association. So every Wednesday and Fridays we always meet up at Standaria, where we can come and discuss these issues, and also that's why we always organize ourselves and we create our plans. Actually, for even the event that we're having on 11th, we're still going to discuss more about it and how we're going to have it done. I think it will be here within the institution, and that's a good platform whereby each and every person who is really interested to come on that day can reach out to us and organize. In case they're not a student within the Kenyatta University, you can arrange for them to enter and access the event. It will be a really good one from 9 to 12. Yeah.
What are some of the activities you'll have in the day?
We will have a walk on that day for 1 hour, walk around the school and continue making awareness that the movement that is existing whereby students can join and come and discuss about these issues and find solution. Also on that day, we're really going to talk about consent. We're going to talk about sexual harassment and its effect, being that mental health is something that need to be addressed, and this is one of the things that may cause mental disorders. Yeah.
Before we wind up, maybe give us your social media platforms one more time as I need some feedback.
On Instagram, it's campus_me_2, TikTok, Campomi2, Facebook, Campus Me Too.
Yeah. So we have plenty of feedback. Have Mzalendo wa Risambu. Good morning, Guy. Ati keep a record of meeting with the perpetrators aje sasa. I don't know if my lecturer will rape me. I just visit for academic help. In whose hands are we safe? I think if I understood when you said keep a record of meeting, it means like if we met with Mr. So-and-so on Monday at 2 p.m. on the 2nd of September, I write that.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you can know if somebody has bad intentions. Sometimes the intuition can tell you.
There's people who don't know how the intuition feels like.
So, like, not all lecturers are bad. Not all lecturers are bad. Point to not. Not all lecturers are bad.
Yeah.
So, don't be scared to meet your lecturers for the purposes of your education, for the educational purposes, and don't be scared to meet your lecturer if you have an issue with your academics. But when it comes to the perpetrators, this person will not do this thing to you once. Maybe the first time you will not have recorded the incident, but you can record the day that person did that and plan maybe with your friends the next time you go visit the person, and make sure now your phone is on record while you're entering that office, and just leave your phone maybe in the bag, or you can hold it on the hand. Bora tu asione. Yeah.
That is scary. Anyway, moving forward,
That is the only way we can get, because when you go to any court of Kenya, tuulizwa evidence iko wapi. Hata ukitukujia sisi pia, you want us to assist you, but umekuja na theoretical information. We want the substance, the facts.
And then also imagine, in my personal opinion, and please don't come at me, I also imagine before it figures that point of being raped, they must have shown some earlier signs. Yeah.
That's why I'm saying the issue of
so
the
those
intuition.
are the ones you start recording pole as you avoid.
And
visiting
also
their
try
office.
to avoid. Don't usifanye ati sasa now you're doing, so unataka kwenda collect evidence, you're trapping yourself to go through an issue,
through a traumatizing experience.
So you can avoid. If you notice this, just you can cut off the person now. He will sense maybe you've noticed that.
You can cut off your lecturer and then I get an E. We have Marcus Amwal. How do you help someone who is sexually harassed at the time of the harassment, apart from later taking legal procedures on the accused?
Immediately after you're sexually harassed, any person, be it in school, be it anywhere, the first thing you need to do is go to the nearest health center. Hata usioge, usifanye. Just go the way you are. I think they have GVRC offices in most of these.
What is a GVRC office?
It's I don't know.
Gender Violence Recovery Center.
So they will collect the evidences, and I think these GVRCs are also found in police posts or police stations. They will take it there, and maybe your case will start from there. You will come back to us after some of the evidence imepatikana, na pia the doctor ataandika statement kuonyesha kwamba this person was sexually harassed.
Have you had cases of men who've been sexually harassed?
Apparently that was the saddest one. When we were collecting evidence, doing our survey in 2019, KU Parklands. No, men were sexually harassed more than the ladies, and you ask yourself, these are men, and these are people who want to become lawyers. So we really never understood it, because we see men as people who are strong in the society, they can really start up for themselves, but they still find themselves in that cases actually. So men are always harassed actually. Now there's a time we had a discussion with men from engineering, and we're really happy to hear what they were saying about that, and it's true, it's something that is there actually. So we can't say it's only ladies who are being harassed, even men.
Okay.
And that's why we're calling men into board, because that's why I'm here, so that the men can see, no, it's not a ladies thing.
Balance. There's that sense of balance.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
And you should speak up.
Yes, please speak up. Actually, please. I think on this show I've had so many episodes where I talk about men speaking up, like how important it is to speak up. Just because you're a man does not mean you bottle your feelings. You can always speak them up. You will die faster if you don't talk about it. I still have more feedback from Zalendo Resambu. Is Campus Me Too a private venture or a product of Kenyatta University? I think you explained about that earlier. We also have, these t-shirts look cool and cute. How can I get one? Nitumie kushtua Mamuri kijijini. They've also addressed that as well. Marcus Amor, some students are provoking in dressing. Some students are provoking. We've said don't say this. We've really said don't say this. Some students are provoking in dressing. As you push the campaign, push for SAT dressing too. I know there is the campaign for my dress, my choice, but there is logic and reality. Well, and then Mzalendo or Resambu responded and said, sometimes the provoking is good. Sometimes the provoking is good. Please, this is, I'm reading a response. This is not Nina speaking. Sometimes the provoking is good. It helps other students not to sleep in class. Ama wewe unaonaje? Okay. I do not agree with anything I have read here. Marcus Amol, don't confuse dress code with what you call clean wealth. And then Zalendo responded, so what's the t-shirts? So that's why the t-shirts are white, because the image is pure. Wow, I love that. Thank you so much. Now that I agree with, yes?
Yep.
Like you said, you're not trying to tatter anyone's
we are not trying to tarnish any image, and we are not enemies to our lecturers.
Yes.
We love them so much. The only thing we want to clear the small percentage in our ribia jina.
The small triviazis that are spoiling the entire sack.
Yeah.
The last response we have, Mzalendo once again, I can't believe we are discussing dress code in 2022. Kitambo, ladies did not know braziers. We used to walk out in open air markets. Cases of rape and sexual harassment were very few. Actually, that's true. If you look at Kitambo, people never used to wear clothes and there was no sexual harassment, unless it was there, but they did not know it was sexual harassment and they did not know how to address it, yes? Because in the past, men were like gods, but anyway, conversation for another day. We've come to the end of this conversation. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you too for your time.
Really appreciated. Is this mine?
Yeah, you can have it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We will be coming back after this short break.
KUTV, in conjunction with Kenyatta University Funeral Home, is now offering death announcements immediately following our news bulletins at 7 p.m. At this sorrowful time, as you share in your grief, allow us to communicate your announcement of your loved one on KUTV in both Kiswahili and English. For more details, kindly inquire at the KU Funeral Home Service Desk or call 0736 928 380 or dial 020-359-9054.
Driving and riding without incidences on the road is such an amazing experience. But do you know while many road traffic crashes are avoidable, human behavior continues to be the leading cause. Speeding, lane indiscipline, drunk driving, distracted driving, failure to wear a helmet, and failure to use available pedestrian ways have been flagged by NTSA as the fatal 6 behaviors likely to lead to a fatal crash and serious injuries. As part of the Usalama Barabarani campaign, we request all road users to prevent these fatal 6 behaviors for their own safety and that of others. When driving, ensure your speed is within the stipulated limits. The road ahead is clear before overtaking. Stick to your lane. Keep left unless carefully overtaking. You're well rested if driving on long distances, and you never drink and drive. Usalama Barabarani starts with you. Fika Salama. This message is brought to you by the National Transport and Safety Authority and the European Union.
Welcome to Children's Corner. Welcome to
Children's Corner.
Children's
Corner.
Bila shaka
Mbiu ya mgambo ikilia, kuna jambo. Na sasa katika QTV Rise Today, makala ya TBT, tunaongeza kuni, tunawasha moto. Tunaingia barabarani kuangalia hali ilivyo, takwimu za korona na kupa habari zinazojiri na zinazokuhusu na kujuza na kukumbusha yaliyotendeka siku kama hii ndani ya historia, kisha na kuletea wageni na wataalam, tudadavui, tufahamu na tuchukue nafasi yetu kama vijana katika uongozi, uchumi na masuala ya kisiasa nchini. Na joto likizidi, tunaingia uwanjani, tunachambua spoti ya Kenya. Ni kila Alhamisi saa 1 hadi saa 4 asubuhi, nami Vincent Maina almaarufu Ojwang mtoto wa Mariam, ndani ya QTV, a new experience.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in up until this far. That was quite a lovely conversation we had right there. I do hope you've learned something, you've grabbed something. I personally have learned quite a lot of things. I didn't know sometimes compliments could be sexual harassment. It depends with how they've been relayed. There's so many insights that have been brought forth upon that conversation. If you're just joining us, you're not late. Okay, you've missed out, but not that much. You can always catch the conversation on our social media platforms, which are KUTV Kenya on Facebook, KUTV_Kenya on Twitter, and as KUTV Kenya on Instagram. If you'd like to catch the recap, you can find it. You can rewind. If you're getting it on Facebook, you can rewind and start from Mwanzo. And if you would like to sit down and watch at your own time, it will still be here on Facebook, and you can also get it on YouTube. Our platform is KUTV Kenya. Thank you so much for joining us. Really, thank you. My show goes by the name Woman Crush Wednesday, which only means we get to celebrate a woman every once in a while. Celebrating women in WCW in Woman Crush Wednesday, it's not crushing on the beauty or the looks alone. We need to recognize the important women in our society, women who ensure that we have a safe bright and better future. One of our crushes today is Mrs. Tekla Ngoite, the chairperson of Midwifery Association of Kenya, or rather POCAS. POCAS is the advocacy tool and voice of midwifery, which has led to healthier, happy families locally and globally. So Mrs. Tekla Ngoite noted that there is a shortage of approximately 900,000 midwives globally, of which Kenya is part of the many countries affected. They are working and looking forward on how to narrow the gap, being established in 2016 as an NGO under the Civil Societies Act with 15 membership countries. She concluded on a lighter note, but rather informative, when she told the participants at the KUCC POCAS Summit that women who are expectant not be referred as pregnant women who give birth, not women who deliver, and only we deliver goods and pizza, because giving birth is a process which brings forth life. I agree. As a mother, I agree. Another woman to be recognized is a long-time tennis player, Althea Gibson, the first African-American to win single titles at the French Open in 1956. We live to celebrate her life. She, on this date of 28th of September 2003, at the age of 76. Another tennis icon who is set to retire, who has set records in the world of tennis, who is none other than Serena Williams. If you are celebrating your birthday today, well, you're sharing your birthday with Naomi Watts, known as Naomi Ellen Watts, born on 28th of September in 1968 in England. She is an actress who has featured in films like King Kong, released in 2005. That's one of the good oldies. The Desperate Hour in 2021 and Infinite Storm, released in 2022, just to mention a few. The list of iconic and legendary women is endless, and we will continuously celebrate them, whether you are in office, at home, or wherever you may be. Make sure you celebrate any woman or the women around you. I like to say, being a woman is power. Let's listen.
Kenyatta University festivals now to take position 1. It's guaranteed. Let's appreciate them before they are even announced. Yes, they have been taking that position for the last 11 years, and there would be no doubt that they will do it again. Our chief guest, it's now my pleasure to invite Dr. Grace Githemo, the project lead, to give opening remarks. Makofi kwa daktari as she takes to the podium.
Thank you. Our chief guest, Dr. Ogato, Directorate of Health Services, representing the DG, Ministry of Health. Our Professor Gishero, representing the Vice Chancellor, Kenyatta University, Professor Washeke. Our Deputy Vice Chancellor, Research and Innovation, Professor Onywera. Other members of management present, our partners, Dr. Darius from Butterfly Network, Dr. Sachita from Butterfly Networks, and also Dr. Kevin Berger from Global Ultrasound Institute. The deans present, directors from various counties where we are carrying out the project, and also representatives from various professional organizations, all invited guests, trainees for this program. Good morning. I take this earliest opportunity to welcome you to this auspicious occasion as we launch the POCAS training for our healthcare providers. Allow me also to thank the Almighty God who has made it possible for us to be here this morning, because it is such a great opportunity as we work towards improving maternal health care. I appreciate the university management through our Vice Chancellor for appointing me to be the project lead in this program. This program aims at evaluating the effect of training and implementation of the portable ultrasound devices among the mid-level clinicians on maternal and neonatal health services in 8 selected counties that we are carrying out. Those include Kakamega, Nakuru, Barigo, Saburu, Kitui, Taita Taveta, Turkana, and also incorporating Kilifi County. The planning of this project began early, mid-February 2022. It's almost 9 months since we conceived this project, and it gives me great joy to see the launch of this project today. The project overall goal is to see improvement accessibility of antenatal, ultrasound, and improved outcomes for neonates and mothers. This is by praising the handheld ultrasound devices in lower-level facilities and speed the diagnosis of high-risk conditions and improve the proportion of mothers that are going to meet the WHO recommendation goal, where all mothers should receive antenatal ultrasound prior to 24 weeks of gestation. The Kenyatta University team has been working tirelessly with Butterfly Network for the provision of the probes, the Global Ultrasound Institute for the facilitation of the training, and the support from Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, who have funded this project. And all of us are working together to ensure that we accomplish this goal. As the project lead, I've been working with ABLE team from Kenyatta University to spearhead this project, and the members of this project are here. We have our immediate former dean for the School of Nursing, Dr. Jacob Masika. We have Dr. Sarah Beth, the chairperson of Medical Surgical Nursing. Dr. Linsta Onsongo, the immediate chair, who is here also. Professor Anthony Wanyoro, Ms. Tekla Gautier, and Dr. Jojo Tieno. I'm sure they're here. They can stand up. We appreciate them. Thank you. This is a team that have been working tirelessly towards this project with the support from our able Vice Chancellor, Research and Innovation, Professor Onywera. Thank you. Thank you, Prof, for the support that you have given to this project. In this project, we are focusing on 8 counties to recruit trainees, and so far we have been able to recruit more than 250 trainees, who includes nurses, midwives, obstetrician and gynecologists, medical officers, radiographers, and clinical officers, as we target to reach 500 trainees. This week, we have our first cohort of trainings, who are 54, and the training began yesterday. We highly appreciate the support we have received from the directors of health in these participating counties, or whom are represented here, and we appreciate all the county directors, representatives from these counties. I'm sure they are here. Maybe they can stand up. We appreciate them. Thank you, and their representative. Thank you so much for the support you have given us towards this project. We also appreciate the support you have received from Kiambu County Director for allowing us to use the facilities and demonstration centers which are in Kiambu County, and we really appreciate. And for this, we are also training 3 participants from each facility, that is Gatodo, Kiambu, Kiadutu, Thika, and Roiro. And we appreciate them, and we shall also be able to appreciate them by giving them the Butterfly IQ Plus ultrasound probes for their support. The launch of this project marks a big milestone that will see the training of 500 healthcare workers on point of care ultrasound. Deployment of 500 IQ ultrasound probes, and we must appreciate Butterfly
of the training, and even the future trainings, that we are with you and we shall offer all the support that is required. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Daktari, for those remarks. Another clap of appreciation to our chief guest. Now my pleasure to invite Mrs. Tekla Gautier. Tekla is the chairperson, Midwifery Association of Kenya. You're most welcome, madam.
Thank you. Our chief guest from the Ministry of Health, Dr. Ogato, from the Directorate of Health, Professor Gisheru on behalf of the VC Kenyatta University, TVC Rio Research and Innovation, Professor Onywera, the Butterfly and Goosey Partnerships, the funding partner, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, my fellow trainees, whom we've been together since yesterday, talking about oligohydramnus, polyhydramnus, and our trainers, ladies and gentlemen, Jambo. Jambo tena. Yeah, my name is Tekla. My middle name is Midwife. My last name is Ngotie, so my name is Tekla Midwife Ngotie. I am a lecturer here in Kenyatta University, midwifery lecturer. I'm also the chairperson, Midwives Association of Kenya. I'm a mother, a daughter, and a friend. Allow me also to recognize the Secretary, Midwives Association, Madam Eunice Atsali. You could just wave. She's the energetic midwife that we expect to be an example to all the midwives. Our Midwives Association is an advocacy arm of the association, of the profession of the midwives. It was established in 2016, bearing in mind midwifery is one of the oldest profession. So we are just a baby in our own profession. It's a non-profit member association registered in Kenya under Societies Act with membership in more than 15 counties right now. And these members comprise of the midwives, friends of the midwives, partners, and all other maternal neonatal health stakeholders. The association is an advocacy tool and voice. We advocate for evidence-based midwifery in policy, research, academia, and practice. Midwives Association of Kenya, as we call it, MAK, is mandated to make valuable and relevant contributions towards improving the quality of education in Kenya, other developing contexts, through involvement in policy-level decisions, professional standards, guidelines, and scopes of practice, curriculum development in influencing middle-level and higher-level education, and clinical practice in primary health, care provision for and also to the specialization levels. In maternity, I know most of you have heard about or you've been there, especially the labor room or the labor ward. It's an environment of energy, needing energetic professionals and hastened. When I talk about energetic, we are talking also about hastened, prompt decisions and implementations. So in our association, we work as catalysts to advance, stimulate, strengthen. We want to hasten and scale up. I'm talking about things which are on the move, accelerating strategies and sustainable efforts for response and resilience towards one, investing in midwives who are the primary care providers for mothers and neonates, and also in elimination of preventable maternal and neonatal deaths through impactful interventions. So from my end, why a midwife? Midwives and midwifery has led to healthier, happier families and our communities globally and locally also. Excuse me. And as such, World Health Organization and several United Nations agencies and other international bodies have identified midwives as the key in reduction of maternal neonatal mortalities and morbidities globally. However, according to the State of World Midwifery Report 2021, still there is a shortage of 900,000 midwives around the globe. So that is a very significant figure, knowing that women within the reproductive age are on the rise and increasing in numbers. Kenya experiences the same shortage of midwives who are educated, deployed and trained based on the International Confederation of Midwives Standards of Education and Practice. This is due to the professional training adopted in Kenya, that is an integrative program rendering midwifery component to fall short of the required midwifery competency levels. MAK is committed, therefore, to support collaborative engagement with maternal neonatal health partners, interdisciplinary teams to optimize gains in creating a thriving environment for the midwives and other practitioners to exercise their professional potentials in all professional cultures for growth. Such environment enables the achievement of positive maternal neonatal outcomes and experiences. MAK promotes, supports professional development, especially competency-based modes for the midwives to meet the dynamic needs of maternal neonatal demands. So such innovations as we have realized this week is such as this project, POCUS. It is well aligned, and it aligns very well with our MAK strategic goal to strengthen professional development by promoting sufficient action, research, and technology utilization, and securing attractive, innovative partners, as we have right now, and partnership programs and friendships, such as these and others. When I talk about innovations, sometimes in our setup, we might think those are very huge machines that need a lot of brain and power to be able to utilize. But as we have seen yesterday, we have a very small gadget that can do wonders, very basic, can be used by anybody who can be trained. It takes only 5 days for us. It took 2 days, actually, few hours, to be able to bring us to speed, whereby right now you can be able to talk about those terminologies that we can be able to talk about. Trust me, I've been a midwife for 20 years. I've never done ultrasound. I just monitor the baby, just visualizing how the baby is lying and all that. But it was very nice for me to be able to exactly see what happens in that territory. We hereby uphold our vision to be a recognized midwives association, advocating for the midwives' well-being, professional development, and practice. We appreciate the recognition to be part of this process. Thanks to all collaborating partners. Remember, each expectant woman, we don't say pregnant women, all expectant woman who gives birth, not delivering, we deliver pizza and goods.
See sikuona, ukweli wako niliujua, na neno lako nilisoma, na roho kuna vita, mara nyingi nateguka, msaidizi ulinipa, kwani si rahisi, 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 si rahisi.
Every single time I have a guest here with a beautiful voice, I wonder, where was I when people were being given beautiful voice? Where was I when talents were being distributed by God? Anyway, this is PK Ann, my beautiful guest. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm fine.
You look very gorgeous.
You look pretty. Pretty is an understatement, by the way.
My heart, thank you, thank you. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. Actually, today is my birthday. I'm feeling so good.
Oh, such a nice piece when I was talking about if today is your birthday, you're celebrating your birthday with legendary women. So, how timely. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
I wish I could sing to you, but I will bomo at the studio for no reason. So, happy birthday.
Thank you.
From me and from the KU team
Yeah.
in general.
Yeah.
So, take us through. PK Ann is a songwriter,
Yes.
a singer, and also a music trainer.
Yeah.
Aside from all that, when
Aside
PK
from
Ann
that.
is not, sorry?
Oh, sorry.
Aside from that?
Yes, when I'm not singing,
Yeah.
I'm an accountant. I graduated from Technical University of Kenya. I'm a firstborn, so I'm there doing my firstborn duties.
Someone said firstborns are self-proclaimed family managers.
Exactly. We are second mothers, by the way. Disciplinarians. Yeah, that's
assistant parents.
Exactly. I'm a friend to many. Yeah, that's all about me.
Family, relationship.
My family actually is I come from Kinangop, but after I came here in Nairobi to study, so I established myself here, and especially because now I sing, you can't really sing when you're in the remote. Yeah, so I do here. In terms of relationships and friends,
You'd like to keep that.
Yes, but I have friends here in Nairobi and back in the in Kinangop as well, and also I have a family in Utawala. I live with, yes.
So PK Ann is a gospel singer.
Yes.
Why gospel?
Why gospel? Actually, I have always been interested in singing in ministry and in things relating to God, to Jesus, to church. I've just been someone who's interested in that area.
Yeah.
So for me, I knew I wanted to serve God when I was young, but I didn't really know that I was talented in singing. So when I came to realize that actually singing is a talent, I thought everybody should sing.
You thought everybody could sing? Oh, wow.
Imagine. So later I came to realize that it's a gift, and I knew, of course, I wanted to serve God through a way, and that is how I chose gospel.
How did you realize that you could actually sing?
Well, this is something I prayed for. Can you imagine? I thought, so one day I went to a Kesha with a friend at that church was called OFC Church at Homelands, So I went to Kesha, and this pastor was preaching about this verse that says, someone who uses his gifts will dine with kings.
Oh, your talents and gifts will put you to dine with kings.
Yeah,
Yes,
and
I
he gave
can't remember
us a
the verse
challenge. Yes, he gave us a challenge and said, go out there and find out what your gift is. And I thought, I'm the best dancer in this world.
You used to be a dancer?
I thought so.
Okay.
I could do acrobats, Then my bones refused.
Oh.
And then I decided.
Let me try something else.
Yeah, so I was thinking, the way I realized I could sing is actually people complimenting me. And you know what? I was embarrassed. Imagine when people used to compliment me that I can sing, I would feel embarrassed.
Why?
And then I would try to really compress that sound and sing badly. I don't know why. You know, the devil, and how he tries really to kukufinya.
Yeah.
So one time, my friends really started challenging me to use platforms to sing, and that's how I realized actually I can sing.
They could actually sing.
Yeah.
So at what point did your career kick off as a singer?
As a musician now.
Yeah.
So once I joined campus, okay, in high school I used to be the choir mistress. I didn't know still I could sing.
But you are choir mistress.
Yes, like people would just see it, but I'm not singing it. And you know, so in campus, I became friends with a lady called Laura Carrera. And through her friendship, I would really admire her ministry, how she used to sing, and her music as well. And I would really relate to her music. So that is the way I started doing a cappella. So, you know, music is a lot of money.
Yeah.
Doing music needs a lot of money. So at that time I was in campus, I had no money. So I decided I'll be doing a cappella and posting them on YouTube. That way, one producer found me on YouTube and gave me a recording deal for a whole album. So I did my album
for free,
9 songs. Yeah, free. But this is a problem. I didn't have a manager. I was so naive. I was so green. And now we had no contract. So later this producer comes. You remember when our former president said that he's going to be releasing 100 million to artists?
Yes.
This producer realized, hey, I think PKN is really doing well. She might get this money, yet I did it for free. So he actually took copyright for my songs. And I was taken back to zero. Yeah, can you imagine? And the videos I used to do with my money, but he did the
production,
yeah. So iliniweka uchungu sana. Then I came back now. Bad.
So you lost your music?
Yes, I lost all my 9 songs. And then I released now Be Yourself. And now from there I have done 3 songs now.
What?
Yeah.
No, wait, that is so painful. That is actually so painful. So you got into Be Yourself.
Yes.
What inspired Be Yourself?
Be Yourself. Now from then I started writing music as my own medicine. And at this point where I was writing Be Yourself, I was dealing with, I was trying to accept my insecurities, accept who I am, love myself. And so I was thinking about someone else who is in the same place. So there's no need for me to heal alone. How about as I'm healing and as I'm expressing my emotions, I put them in paper, do a song, and maybe someone out there will relate to it. So that's how I came up with Be Yourself.
This is so beautiful because last week I had a guest who gave me the exact same aspect of the inspiration of his music, and his inspiration is the same. He said that he was going through a healing process and he realized, oh, you know what, I'm not the only one who is going through what I'm going through. Let me write this song so we can heal together. That's really beautiful. That's really beautiful. What's that one thing that in through your musical journey you feel that I'm so proud of myself? You look at yourself and you tell yourself, and I am proud of you.
Hey, let me tell you, something people don't know is how now singing is one thing. Now getting into a whole industry requires a special form of grace. So me doing that, losing my songs, coming back, dealing with let's not talk about that. I mean, dealing with like producers and video directors who will delay I'm not saying the ones who did my songs did that. I'm just saying, like, before you find that person who will do for you amazing job, going through all that and alone, I'm proud of myself.
You're proud of yourself.
And putting out the 3 songs that I have already, I'm proud of myself for that.
But that's actually a lot of work. I agree, it's a lot of work. What are some of the challenges you face this far? Well, aside now from having your songs stolen, I can feel your pain. I can feel your pain having your content stolen and now dealing with producers. What other challenges have you faced through your journey this far?
Aside from that, I think the main challenge that every artist would say is one financial challenge. Doing a song is like planning an event, especially if you are into very small details, you want to do a perfect job. So I think one of the challenges would be financial. And the fact that you have to keep consistent, maybe release a song after 2 months, 1 month. Also, kupenya. you know, getting through into, you know, building your brand and people getting to know you, that's quite a challenge, yeah.
But here you are building your brand. I know. Here you are. I know, true. We can't take the credit. Earlier on, we had a conversation on sexual harassment. Yeah. And it was mostly sexual harassment in campus, in the workplace, by people who are of a higher rank or even a similar rank. Do you have you gone through a situation, if you're comfortable sharing, have you gone through a situation whereby you've been harassed by people you thought would help you, producers, promoters, directors, people you thought would help you, you know, go a higher step in your musical journey?
Yeah, it's there. And as a woman, that's something I thought ningehepa, because I had already been mentored before and been told this is how it is.
You thought you were strong.
I thought me, you're not getting me. I was shocked. So actually, the I want to say disgusting, but the bad part is it's those people that you see, you admire, that I fell into it, like, you know, but it was like an almost thing, but I was really, of course, as I said, I had been mentored before. But there's this one time that an artist called me to give me a collab, and we were supposed to write a song and together. So I proposed we meet in a public space. So he said, how about we meet in studio? Yeah, so I went to the studio, it's in Donholm. So going there, this guy was just so weird. Like, I came here to write a song. Yeah. And I ended up storming out and going home. Yeah. Like, he started being like a weirdo.
Showing advances.
Yes, he was like,
his shots.
Actually, like, we can do a collabo, but we can also do another collabo, you know? Yeah, we can do two collabos. The song one and, you know, the other one, yeah.
No, I'm so sorry. It's actually sad that these things happen, especially when individuals see your vulnerable side. Like, you really want to get help, you really want to do this, but then they flip the script and use it to their advantage, which is very, very sad. Yeah. Moving forward, what plans do you have moving forward in the future? Like the next couple of years, months, days.
I plan, of course, I did release my new song, Nimwema, some few weeks ago, like 2 weeks ago. I want to be more consistent, so I have another song I'm cooking, a collaboration. I'm looking forward to doing a collaboration for my next song. I hope I'll be able to launch it here.
Yes, please. You're most welcome. Yes. Any day, anytime. You just need to let us know when.
Yes. So those are the plans that I have, like, soon for my music. Apart from that, in the long term, I plan on actually studying more about music and inspiring, like, people. So many people already come to me and ask me, how did you start? You know. So I think I would want to be able to expand my knowledge on music and how to be easy in marketing and all that, especially in the Kenyan industry, and be able to create, like, a community where I can be able to mentor people, and especially women. Yeah.
Wow, that is very, very nice. Congratulations. I wish you all the best in your journey and your endeavors. Oh, you've spoken of collaborations, and it's made me wonder, who is your role model in the music industry? Doesn't have to be local, could be international. And if you have both.
Actually, I look up to people in Kenya, because I feel like we relate on so many
levels. Yeah.
Tukipigana maisha, we are together. So my main inspiration is Laura. She's my sister. Yes, Laura Carrera.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is nice. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate. Please share with us your social media handles and your YouTube platform and where we can stream your music.
My social media handles are at PKyan. Nasile Akuchu.
I say PK.
PKAYANNE. On Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, on YouTube. Yes, that's where I am. On LinkedIn.
All platforms.
Every platform.
Oh, thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
hoping to see you as you launch your music.
Yeah.
Please, we will be here, right here, waiting for you. Wish you all the best.
Thank you.
And once again, from KUTV and the entire team, happy birthday. I wish I could sing. Sijui kama Mr. Producer unajua kuimba, eh?
We can work on that. Tunaweza shika classes hapa na pale.
Thank you. Thank you. Allow me to read some feedback. We have Pascal Omondi. Let me start from Marcus. Marcus Samuel, thank you. This session was educative. I am glad you got you learned something. Pascal Omondi, hey Gikunda, I just want to know if calling someone bald head in Kenya is considered a sexual harassment, just like in the UK. No, I mean, how is that sexual harassment? I would say verbal harassment, not sexual harassment. We also have Elvis Mark, happy birthday to her. Nina should definitely sing for her. Hakuna haja ni wabomole studio, mkose show next week. We also have Mtoto wa Mariam. Nina, you used to be a dancer guest. I thought so. Yeah, I found that funny as well. Jovial Ray, loving the vibe of the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me here.
And wish you all the best in your endeavors. And there's more feedback. There's a little bit more feedback. I am sorry.
Okay.
Aki Mungu, forgive me for all the days I lied to myself that I can dance. Man, I also used to be a dancer. Okay, I also thought so. I thought I could dance. I also thought I could dance. But I can dance in my head. You know what's important is the moves in the head.
Exactly.
I am really sorry. Nimejaibisha siku mingi mbele ya mabesha na haters. I never knew others think they can dance, but they can't. Most important, we are many. So comrades, we are comrades. So and the stage is all yours. You can sing for us, ni mama.
Okay. Yeah.
You can stand?
Oh yeah, I would really love to. I love
performing while standing.
Yeah, while standing.
The stage is all yours.
Thank you.
Atatenda ahadi yatimiza, mwaminie Bwana, kwako atatembea. Ni mwema, yeye yu mwema, kwa wakati wake atatimiza. Ni mwema, yeye yu mwema, kwa wakati wake mambo magumu, ilo sijali, hayo hayadumu. Ana sababu ya msimu, kuna wakati utazikwepa tabu. Akisema atatenda, ahadi yatimiza, mwaminie Bwana, kwako atatembea. Ni mwema, yeye yu mwema, kwa wakati wake atatimiza. Ni mwema, yeye yu mwema, kwa wakati wake atatimiza.
Kumbuka, mbiu ya mgambo ikilia, kuna jambo. Na sasa katika QTV Rise Today, makala ya TBT, tunaongeza kuni, tunawasha moto. Tunaingia barabarani kuangalia hali ilivyo, takwimu za korona na kupa habari zinazojiri na zinazokuhusu na kujuza na kukumbusha yaliyotendeka siku kama hii ndani ya historia, kisha na kuletea wageni na wataalam, tudadavui, tufahamu na tuchukue nafasi yetu kama vijana katika uongozi, uchumi na masuala ya kisiasa nchini. Na joto likizidi, tunaingia uwanjani, tunachambua spoti ya Kenya. Ni kila Alhamisi saa 1 hadi saa 4 asubuhi, nami Vincent Maina almaarufu Ojwang mtoto wa Mariam, ndani ya QTV, a new experience.
Prostate cancer is a type of cancer that affects the prostate gland. It is highly treatable if detected early.
As you grow old, the risk of having prostate cancer become high. Men above 65 years and above, you find that 2/3 of patients with prostate cancer, their age is 65 and above.
Hello everyone, this is the new chapter of Let's Be Fit. I'll be host DiCaplo. I'm here to give you various workouts. I'll be having different trainers. We'll have Zumba classes, we'll have aerobics classes, we'll have box exercise, we'll have kata box. Just The show comes every Thursday from 6:30 a.m. to 7 a.m. Keep it locked. Make sure we keep fit. And that's it from me to you. Let's be fit.
Today at Ubuntu Water Hub Africa to bring you smart water ATMs.
Took us 5 months to build the first 2 prototypes we had for the mini water ATMs, and that process ended in 2022 January. We've managed to do 70% of what we're using to outsource locally.
Typically, a customer, if he has a tag, will come over to the water hub, tap his or her tag, then key in the amount of water that he or she will want to dispense, and then water will automatically dispense from the water hub.
shots be easy. Hapa ni more than mushrooms ndo mina dishi. Nikikukamia inafokwe na more than wasiwasi. Punchlines zina hit hard from the pen hadi zinaumiza karatasi. Hey, nishaambia songeni kando sasa nipe nafasi. Na ukikataa itakuwa ni chai tu kasha nchinda ni ile basi. Hey, ni kwa chetuna broken appendages. Therapy of painkillers man no corrupt in bandages. Your team iko F, not even your manager can manage this. Cause me bila buzz ni sawa na life bila challenges. With my pain, hey, I'm just inventing. On the mic, hey, I'm just venting. My next move, wait, they're just guessing. Nafanya wanabaki on guard as if wanna play fencing. DKC man, ni so interesting. Volume what now, isha madonna ma painting. Take it easy man, buzz unlimited, no stressing. Kuni beat ni hard, ni kakures family ukitumia doza betting.
Oh gosh, it's Neymar. I've been working hard. I don't like the hype, if this isn't about the money, bye. I'm on a new level, not on the same shit. I'm not a basic bitch, I'm so confident. I go sick on a beat, I'm a patient. Whoa, stand innovation. I'm limitless, said I'm limitless. No glove can fit me, cause my fist big. How can I put this? I'm a beast. When I get to a level of beast, I'm gonna feast. It's in a logistics, in our office, it's in a location. Yeah. I'm on a mission, call me your bishop. I got a piece, don't call it my tongue. Fuck a petition, I make it drop. I don't care about an invitation. I just pull up like on rotation. An obsession, I'm a quotation. Le mama got it unlock. I don't care about the talk. Nikipita, piga saluti. Piga picha, paswa balloon. Bazenga amefika, beba kijiko. Keki nachota na mwiko. Makasiriko, makaribisho. Nika ya mwisho, niko na wisdom. Niko na vision, niko na best intentions. Lazima nipate, rangi nipake. Nipe nipishe. Yeah. Do muda hu. Abadan katan du. Mini ule demu wa juu. Ama niaje, mi waza na voices tu. Tatu, kazuzu. I try to be good. Lakini utundu imenifu.
Shazi ring. Ana marengo jinsi alivyo basi safi tu. Nakupa maxi kwa tabia na vitendo, wendo nyenzo nanifanya nisubai popote nikae na tamani menipai mana tendo. Unanifanya kwa mwenendo, unakwenda unapanda paka wanafosi mpaka upendo. Twende kwetu kawe memba na kuwa bomba, ndo kitu nachokomba. Basi zidisha nizam na mapenzi kwa vitendo. Yes. Na mashamsham yatawale kila engo. Yes. Haina jinsi na wale wanaodisi kuhusu naishi vipi na wakimbiza. Nataka tuishi pisi na wale wanaomisi wabaki majoko wakijiuliza.
Umetawala upendo kwenye moyo na akili yangu. Usijevua pendo, taivuruga akili yangu. Amini we shujaa, baby. Kwenye giza washa taa, tusonge. Lakini we shujaa, baby. Kwenye giza washa taa, tusonge.
Upendo wako na umisi ukiwa mbari unanipandisha mori. Weni shujaa wa uhakika so boring. Napenda jinsi ulivyo kwa tabia mpaka sorry. Wanga na mshukuru huyu wangu masiku monganisha na mihujapotea. Unanifanya mbele watu naonekana. Bila we hapana, wendo shujaa mama.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in up until this far. I genuinely and honestly do appreciate your feedback. Today's conversations have been so interesting. I have Shazi B with me here in studio here to talk about her musical journey, where she started, how she started, what inspires her music. She's a singer-songwriter and she's also a rapper who's participated in so many cyphers. She's here with me looking very gorgeous. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm very fine.
Karibu sana kwenye show.
Thank you so much.
Unafilaje?
I feel good.
You
I
feel
feel
good?
quite good. Yeah. Yeah.
Who is Shazi B?
Shazi B is as you've said, a songwriter, a musician, but I've focused much more on rapping. Yeah, I feel like there's an opportunity for female MCs to just make it out in this industry, and that's why I'm here. Yeah.
Aside from being a singer-songwriter and a rapper, what do you do when you're not making music, when you're not being a creative?
Generally, my whole life just moves around being an
Music.
artist. So if I'm not writing any songs, doing any music, I usually draw I love drawing graffiti type of shit.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I usually do it as a side hustle. I usually sell t-shirts, drawing graffitis and that type of shit. And I feel like, yeah, I just want to revolve around being a whole musician, a musician as a whole package. Yeah.
Interesting. Where did your journey start?
I started way back 2018. I remember it was one of those days when you're just out there with your homies and you're like, we should just head to the studio. So I didn't like think it should be quite my thing, but when I started off, I decided to focus on doing it like a whole career. So they recorded a few tracks and then this producer just said, can you just hop on this one? So I just put my vocals in it, and he asked me, why haven't you ever recorded a music yet you have a good voice? So I was like, I didn't even know I could sing in the first place.
You also just discovered you could sing,
I didn't even know I could do this thing in the first place. So, you know, once you stay with someone and they're doing something, or a group of people and they're doing something, you end up doing the same thing. So I just started off writing music, and then I started writing my lyrics, and then I just became a rapper. And that's how it just started. But in the middle of that, I just stopped for a bit because, you know, we're in a society where you have to focus on getting a career other than music, because people don't see music as a career in any way, in any sort of way. So I just decided, let me first of all focus on studies. If it's getting a degree or getting a diploma or getting anything, let me just do that and then do music as part of my life, because it's something I never wanted to give up on, even though it's not gonna be like a career that pays me that much. But I just decided, let me put them together and see how it's gonna
work together. I was reading somewhere that you were part of a crew in Gong. Maybe take us through that, whereby you used to participate in ciphers and creating music.
So I started off when I was with this, I went to the studio with a couple of homies. The couple of homies I'm talking about was the crew. So it's like when you walk around, I was just going to see a friend. Then I met this group of people and they were like, we're heading to the studio. So when I went with my homies there and they recorded, that's when we formed the crew. It was called Gongliho. They had already formed their own name in that type of shape. But when they realized I could do something legit, that's when I started off. We recorded a few tracks. I remember there's this one song, they actually didn't shoot a video. It was called 111, My Hometown. So it's just speaking about 111 and everything about 111 and how amazing it is. So I got to participate in that. Then afterwards, I can't say my music journey was like the way people wake up and then they write albums, EPs, release a couple of songs. No, me, it was just being called on ciphers. So I kind of felt like I was so good in this game, in this type of shit. I didn't even know how to like write a whole full song and then put a chorus in there and just make it a whole full song. So it was like, you come, deliver your bars, and just that's it.
The ciphers. Let's look at the ciphers. How was it when you participated in your first cipher?
It was amazing. Like, okay, I can't say I was the only dope female MC in that room, but it felt good to be appreciated when you just walk in that room and then you're in the booth and then you record something legit and people are like, wow. You know, the feeling of achievement, I just felt like I've achieved something in life. Yeah.
Earlier on, I was having a conversation on sexual harassment by staff in the workplace. The ciphers is your workspace, right? Have you experienced any form of sexual harassment? We know ciphers. Ciphers are a male-dominated space. Yes. Have you experienced any sort of harassment, intimidation?
Well, I've had that topic quite a lot, and I'll generally speak about me because I don't know anyone else.
Yes.
Exactly. So me, it's only one time that it ever happened to me. I was supposed to go on a recording session, but it didn't turn out to be a recording session. It turned out to be something else, which I didn't want to be part of it. So I just decided, like, if this is how it's gonna be, then I'd rather just go home. So
Interesting how my previous guest just narrated this same scenario.
Yeah. So a lot of people out there expect you to just bend low to their interest when you don't want to do that, because they feel like they are helping you so much. Like, if it's not for them, you won't go anywhere. So I think most women out there just go through the same kind of shit, but they don't have a voice. Some are embarrassed to speak about it openly because they feel people out there will say, so and so went through this, so and so. So people will not definitely just come out and speak about it. But it does happen. I've heard other people's stories, and I'm like, damn, maybe I must be lucky because it was just one time. Yeah.
What's the one thing you're so proud of yourself for?
I work so hard. I really work so hard. I know that people out there, some people get lucky. Some people, even though it's not the hard work, they also get lucky. But I believe in what I do. So if what I'm doing is amazing, then I feel like that's a sense of achievement. Yeah.
As we are about to wind up, what are some of the challenges you've faced so far, other than now the sexual harassment aspect?
Well, even the sexual harassment is nothing. Let me just talk about the music industry in person. Like, this thing is not fair at all. You know, I feel like if there are female MCs out there, or people who are just aspiring to do music or just go far with their talent, they should definitely not give up, because there are not so many opportunities. And if you get an opportunity, don't let it slide. We usually used to go for performances. You're called out and you're not even paid. So you just go home like, yay, I just performed.
But at least I got exposure and a platform.
Exactly. So people are like, you're into this shit and it's not paying you, so why are you even doing it in the first place? You know, people expect you when you're doing something, it should pay you. Like, no one expects you to just go out there and do something and it doesn't give you money at the end of it all. Yeah. So I feel it's a challenge for artists out there. People do not recognize artists. They don't even think artists are anything at all. So even if they call you for a show, for a gig or anything, it's only those artists that are well known out there. So like, this one should get this and this. You artists that are upcoming, you just come and perform. We'll appreciate it. So yeah. So it's not usually a free and fair platform for all of us.
Wow,
yeah.
That is sad. You are releasing your EP in roughly a week's time?
Yeah, yeah. I believe since I started off and I've been doing cyphers, it was high time for me to release my own songs, like form a whole EP. So maybe I'm gonna release it soon on YouTube, and I hope people will listen to it. Like, they will see a voice in me, because I'm speaking about people out there. I'm speaking about what people are going through out there. So if at all someone will relate with what I'm singing about or what I'm rapping about, then I'll definitely appreciate it.
Wow. So maybe your social media platforms, and before maybe you sing for us something. You're a rapper. Tupatie kitu kidogo.
Yeah, I thought of that too. Yeah, so my handles are Boss Lady Shazzy B in Instagram. You can also find me as Boss Lady Shazzy B. It's just Boss Lady Shazzy B everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Including YouTube.
Yeah.
Wow, thank you so much for your time. We wish you nothing but the very best in your oncoming endeavors. Thank you so much for joining us. And right before we get into a cipher, thank you so much for joining us. We've come to the end of the show for today. Thank you so much for sending in your feedback. The conversation obviously should continue. Our social media platforms are at KUTV Kenya on Facebook, KUTV Kenya on Instagram, and at KUTV_Kenya on Twitter. I will see you tomorrow evening for Beyond Limits at 8:30 p.m. right here. Thank you so much for keeping it KUTV. Have yourself a wonderful day. Stay safe. Akim Shike Ebola. Stay safe. I love you all. See you next week, same time, same place.
It's You cautious it be. I could be your baby girl or a gangster for real. Don't you hung up when I call me. That ain't sweet. Am I supposed to be loyal when you got side chicks? I hope you understand a new guy comes in, but we on a new era where she got chicks and do got on some. Ain't no loyalty, cause you trust the most, or switch. That's why I'm up alone chasing this bag and shit. Cause I'm in a mission now, kuna substitution. Mukiliki to push your station to permission. I'm winning tuition, that's why you in confusion. And I'm making all decisions, not been coming to conclusion. I'm doing all the damages, fuck me and all the savages. We heal without the bandages, women abuse the marriages. I cannot stop with this corruption, all these injuries caused. Our brothers, sisters-in-law, our father, mothers is broke. So I say fuck it, say niko kwa budget. Look on ya Gikunda, sina task, niko na carpet. When it's suspect, first crime really happened. Juna dready uko locked behind bars. Kuzangua back to back na kuja cut to pack. I know it's funny cause I'm female but me come back. I mean from hand to mouth, niggas are dying too young. That's why I wanna leave a legacy. I'm down to earth, nigga. Yeah, I see all my babies need some milk. Yeah, we all hungry but nobody gets to eat now. Says it quick, you design it kwa pitch. Fake shot na finesse, hide the goal on it shit. I keep it one-handed, move focus, says it lose. Na play talent, na ambition, yo. Sign it kwa boot, this is not a competition. Tell them ladies in the room, me do couch, kona cushion. Says it chapa very soon. Mko very worried, economy kona challenge. Lately mko discouraged, sijua hata vile mna manage. Hatuna budget, society full of garbage. I ain't trying to be offensive, ndio ishi kana.
Driving and riding without incidences on the road is such an amazing experience. But do you know while many road traffic crashes are avoidable, human behavior continues to be the leading cause. Speeding, lane indiscipline, drunk driving, distracted driving, failure to wear a helmet, and failure to